Here's one. How to give up self-sabotage. We call it shooting yourself in the foot, getting in your own way. How do we stop that? We have to first of all notice how we do it. You could sabotage yourself always by self-doubt. I'm not good enough. It's not enough. Nobody likes me. And notice if I'm saying, you say, well, it sounds like you're talking to me. Why? Because we're all hearing the same nonsense, the same ignorance coming through our minds to talk us out of being who we are and doing what we feel guided and want to do. Because it's like, and so you watch the mind, you'll see this thing. So how you give up self-sabotage, you start to watch it. What do you do to sabotage yourself, and what does that mean? And a lot of people, what that means is, well, I want to do this. This is my goal. Or say I want to have a relationship. I want to get married. Well, okay. So if you're not married now, it means you don't want to be. Oh, right. Okay. So then, if you want to be married, then you have to want to be married, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. So then you talk about it, and okay, what? And then in the sessions and all that, and after a while, people start to discuss and everything. You begin to. So this is what I do, because I do it to myself. You listen, and you can hear what the person is saying, and they have all these conflicting beliefs. And so they're battling themselves. And self-sabotage is battling at war with oneself. It's preventing you from something. And I was talking with one of my mentoring people, and he was saying what he wanted was for something to happen in his work. And so then I had him talk a little bit, and as he was talking, he's giving me all these statements as if they're laws, such as, well, when you start to grow, then you start to lose a lot of this and that. Well, lose what? What does that mean? What's that belief? It's not an absolute. Is it true for everybody all the time? As long as if there's one exception, it's not a rule. No. People say, well, you're an exception to the rule. Who made the rules? Who's making the rules, you see? And rules then are held in place by fear of punishment, fear of death, fear of loss, lack, and then also reward. And how do they, people get blackmailed and people get, rewarded for certain things. It's almost like we're like, what would you say? Not that we're all just puppets and robots at some level, but so easily we have been influenced. So that is self-sabotage. You take a look at, are you easily influenced? Do you really want what you say you want? And then when I started talking with the person that wanted to get married, and we start to look at what's really involved, she's got a lot of stops where it says there's too many fears, too many objections, because she has too many rules and ideas about what having a relationship, a marriage means. And I remember when I first got married, it's like, in this lifetime experience, I don't know what to do. What do you do? I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? Because, you're trying to be something. Well, how am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to act? I'm supposed to pretend? I remember one time there was this book called Fascinating Womanhood that was out there. And so I tried that one. And it meant you had to act stupid and dumb all the time. So I had this was after I was single. So I was invited by this man to go out to lunch. And so I got there a little bit late, and then I was trying to do the Fascinating Womanhood thing. It's like, oh, I was so... that traffic just really got me, it was just so trouble. I got so frazzled and all that. He looked at me like I never really saw him again after that, which is fine anyway. But it's trying to get our act together. That's sabotaging ourselves, because we're not being who we are. We're trying to fit in. We're trying to belong. We're trying to be accepted, and instead of be who we are. So then we think there's something wrong with us, And then we think there's something wrong with everybody else. And what the problem is what we're thinking, what we're talking about, what we believe, what we imagine, what we desire, what we intend, what our consciousness of all of this that we have accepted and we are acting on. So obviously that has to manifest. Remember when I used to play a lot of tennis? Oh, that's a great game, but what a stress because the ball keeps going over the net. And every time, you've got to get yourself back into place and ready for that ball to come in any direction. I mean, it was really challenging. It was really fun. And I would say the ball goes where you hit it. It doesn't change its mind and go somewhere else. Now, there's also other factors. The wind, could be other people involved. There's a lot of different things. And yet, also what I learned in tennis, you follow through. You keep your eye on where you're going to go. I learned that when I did the fire walk. I had a 21-day retreat at my retreat center in Washington to find out what would happen with people in 21 days by changing their habits. It was fabulous. It was fabulous what people did. But in an environment and things set up for them to really get to know and be who they really are. It was fun. It was wonderful. So this thing of self-sabotage is, we've been taught to sabotage ourselves. We've been taught to hate ourselves. We've been taught to hate others. We've been taught all these ways to be. So if you're going to actually give up self-sabotage, that means you're going to allow yourself to fully express and be who you are. What is that? Yeah, so then you begin to contemplate, when you say you're being sabotaged or stopped, what would happen if you weren't being stopped or sabotaged anymore? What would be different? And then there's one person I was working with, it was, well, I guess I would just do more of the same, and I keep going to more success after another. It's no. You would definitely keep, what may I say? You would do what it is that you'd want, that you say in your heart that you want to be doing, because there's no obstruction. So if there's no obstruction, what are you afraid of? And we're afraid of our power, or we don't believe we have it, or we can't do it, or other people won't like it. So we got sentimentality, we got everybody's opinion, we got everybody molding everybody else, but yet some are all running the same fears with the same beliefs. And when you choose not to, we can't have that. Work on yourself. Mm-hmm. And your beloved, and hey, this is what it's all about.